Hey, welcome to Late Night Football Talk. I'm your host, Nick Manzaro. Today I got Joe with me. We're going to be talking about Baltimore at New England, Bills at Dolphins, Packers at Bucks, 49ers at Broncos, a little bit of the Dallas at New York, and then we'll finish off with our preview of Miami at Cincinnati. Enjoy. How's it going, Joe?
It's going good. Good week of football.
Yeah, definitely. It's been 3 good weeks, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you're the New England fan, Patriots fan here. What do you think?
Yeah, no, they looked good for most of the game, but fourth quarter came and they just crumbled.
You want me to give my non-biased take?
Yeah, absolutely. Non-biased.
All right, I'm a Bucs fan, so I'm a little biased because I'm still a little pissed that they let Brady go.
Of course.
But and I'm sure Kraft is, just like, God damn it, Bill. You told me he had nothing left.
Everybody, well, not everybody. I thought he didn't.
I think he could go a couple more years.
Oh, probably.
We'll get into it. But I still think Brady looks awesome. So they had a chance to win this game. Obviously, they didn't. The score was the Ravens 37-26. Now, that was a lot closer.
Oh, yeah.
Than what it seems with that score. But
yeah. It was
it
was a lot closer. In the fourth quarter, they were down by 5. They were driving. Mac Jones threw that interception. He was at like the 3-yard line or something.
Yeah.
Where they were only down by 5. And then Nelson Aguilar fumbled when they were driving down the field.
That could have sealed it right there, right?
Absolutely.
But I mean, Mac had 3 interceptions.
Yeah, he did.
The fourth, just like last week. I'll bring this up just because I think it's relevant. I think Mac's not playing that great, but he should have had 4. The guy dropped it. It was like right to him.
Yeah, absolutely. He should have possibly had more than that.
Yeah.
He definitely wasn't throwing the ball that good. I mean, he was throwing the ball good. He just made a lot of dumb mistakes. Because he only had 10 incompletions in the game. So
yeah,
he was.
Yeah, like his mistakes were really bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he threw them right to the
yeah.
other team.
Yeah.
I still the interception in the end zone, I don't put that on 100% Mac because Devontae Parker, you're a big guy. Go up and fight for the ball. You saw Mac on the sideline.
They were connected this game. I've been giving him some issues. Kind of like, don't even throw to this guy anymore. I've kind of like, if I was that quarterback, I've already given up.
Yeah.
But he had like 160 yards.
Yeah, 156.
He was killing it. It was like, well, the Ravens players weren't turning their heads around as much as the other players,
Yep.
or versus the other teams.
Yep.
When they were kind of expecting him to go to him, and then they would just pick him off.
Yep.
They definitely made their adjustments, though.
Yeah,
because
the Ravens.
That fourth quarter on, though, they stopped. They were just the pressure was heating up.
Yeah, absolutely. The Patriots got down and Mac Jones was pressing. Especially that last interception. I mean, that was a horrible throw.
Yeah, that was
terrible.
terrible.
It wasn't even close to. The guy was wide open and you just overthrew him like crazy. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I also think the key to them losing, Lamar Jackson looked really, really good. He flipped a switch.
Dude, Lamar Jackson looked like a running back.
Yeah.
He was insane.
Couple plays, yeah, he got so many yards.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yep.
But also, Mark Andrews looked great.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He was catching good, but he looks a lot like Travis Kelce there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, he was catching, sometimes they were actually a little late because
Yep.
he's having to catch him as he's falling backwards or something like that.
Yep.
Or, right on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't think he's as good as Travis Kelce.
No, I would agree with that.
These last
still a top
couple
tier.
years, absolutely. I mean, he's probably the 3rd or 4th best tight end in the league right now.
Yeah, maybe
So,
beside Waller.
yeah,
right? Maybe
even
Goddard.
Waller, who really knows right now. But it's like
Yeah,
Kelce,
he's not showing what he has in the previous years. I also think it's because it's an offense change.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know he got paid that massive contract.
Yep.
Obviously, we're at week 3, so we're still figuring out how all this is going to go.
Yeah, these teams.
But,
I mean, it's still new.
Do you have any of the scores for that game?
For what game?
The Ravens at Pats or at New England?
The scores? I'm sorry.
Any of the stats?
Oh, yeah. Mac Jones, he was 22 of 32, for 320 21 yards. He had 3 interceptions, though.
Like I said,
sacked
could have been
3
4.
times.
Yeah, the sacks were bad, and obviously, what do you think about the injury?
Oh, horrible. I mean,
high ankle
a
sprain.
high ankle sprain.
So apparently, I was listening to it today that the first doctor said that he needed surgery, and so he's looking for a second opinion.
Yep.
Now, a lot of quarterbacks have played through stuff like this.
No, not a high ankle sprain.
Well, I mean, the guys have played, Phillip Rivers, torn ACL.
Yeah, but that's not the same as a high ankle sprain. The torn ACL, it just prevents you from being able to, like, juke and stop.
There's nothing broken. X-rays came back negative.
Yeah, but the high ankle sprain, you basically can't walk on it.
Yeah, I'm not a pro athlete, but I've had a high ankle sprain before.
Yeah.
And I don't have the treatment that these guys are getting, but
sure.
Even I was like, I couldn't walk for like 2 weeks.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So I understand that. I just mean, like, a couple weeks from now, like even Ty Montgomery. Is it Ty Montgomery, I believe? He had a high ankle sprain. He was diagnosed with a high ankle sprain. Yeah. He played like 2 weeks later at the start of the season.
When? Because he's out right now with a high ankle sprain.
No, but because he left again.
I'm just saying, yeah.
But yeah.
But he
went down in the preseason.
Yeah. Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
I forget what team they were playing. But he went down, and I thought he was going to be out for a long time and be an injured reserve, but it didn't end up being the case.
Yeah. Now, it seems like high ankle sprains are horrible. I mean, guys are out for 6, 7, 8 weeks, even longer sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but Lamar Jackson, yeah, he looked amazing in the game. I mean, 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception, sacked 4 times. I mean, Dietrich Wise, guy's a monster.
That's like a Hall of Fame game for him, huh?
Insane, 3 sacks.
I mean, yeah, he looked better than Judon, which I think Judon happens to be their best player.
Yeah, he still had a sack too, Judon.
Yeah,
but Dietrich Wise. I mean, he's been there for 4 or 5 years now. Never really did anything.
His 5th year.
Yeah,
maybe it's 6th. It might be 6th now.
Yeah. And I think he's been playing better than anybody else on that defensive line this year. Even better than Judon, better than Barmore.
Yeah, he's got to be at, maybe 5 or 6 sacks?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
he had 2 in the first
week
game.
3.
Yep.
I mean, this is a insanely good start for a Patriots player.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
I mean,
what did Judon have last year, 12?
Maybe. I don't even think like Chandler Jones or any of.
I know he had like 5 or 6 his rookie year, Chandler Jones.
Yeah,
2012, I believe.
But I don't remember any time they've had 5 in their first 3 games. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
But
I still think. I think their line still has a bunch of issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't trust them. I don't think Mac does because I think Mac gets jumpy at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's not. So my problem with Mac too is, and I like non-running quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't like Lamar Jackson's kind of he's an outlier.
Yeah.
A little bit like Vic,
yep.
right? But I don't. Josh Allen, another person, but I think they even mentioned this. The league is more. You have to be a passer that can run.
Absolutely.
Not a runner that can pass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mac Jones proved in this game that he can run. I mean, he had 31 rushing yards in the game, some huge first down
pickup. Of course, but they're playing him like Brady, where it's like they're not expecting him to
Brady's
run.
Never had 30. I mean, maybe once in his career, 31 yards.
I think he had a long run the other day. It was the longest run today. I'm sorry, yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the longest run of their offense.
Game. Yeah.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette didn't get shit. But
yeah, Mac Jones, I mean, that fourth
down
that they needed.
Like, I don't trust Wynn.
No.
Not at all.
No.
No, if you're running behind Trent Brown, guy's a house.
Yep.
You're going to get a lot of, the yardage you're going to. They did run. Stevenson looks better to me than Harris.
He looked awesome.
Stevenson runs so hard. He was getting like 6 yards a pop.
Yeah, he averaged 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So.
Now, when you get down, though, with that offense, you're screwed. Like, Baltimore applied so much pressure to them.
Yeah.
And especially when he got picked off. And then that's why I think he got picked off again, is he's pressing.
Yeah.
And so he's basically all the pressure's on Mac Jones. And last year he did really well with the pressure. Now, I know, obviously, you brought up the Devontae Adams part. Did you see him on the sideline? Basically, like, swearing.
Oh, yeah,
it's
Mac
fucking
Jones.
cover 4.
Yeah.
Who,
Mac Jones?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was yelling,
At Devontae,
fight for the ball. He was yelling, fight for it.
Yeah.
So,
and which is that's not good.
no.
I mean, that's not good for the relationship.
Devontae, again, he's a big guy. Like,
yeah.
you know,
Was he 6'2"? I think we talked about this
6'3",
before. Yeah.
You know,
he's a big, yeah.
But Mac Jones, he needs to look for Hunter Henry more. Like last year, what made them good is Hunter Henry in the red zone. I think he had 9 touchdowns in the red zone last year. You're not even looking at him at all. You know,
Yeah.
He's invisible. Or
I'm kind of biased with this, but I have him on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
He had 1 catch, I think. 1 catch for 8 yards.
I'm surprised he even had a catch.
1 catch, 8 yards.
Yeah.
Horrendous. They're not even in the same planet.
No, and like I said, and last year it was him and Jacoby Myers.
He was no, they didn't have Jacoby Myers.
Sure,
we should mention that.
Yeah, but I mean, the way that they played, they didn't really they weren't missing Jacoby Myers.
Well, Aguilar was kind of playing that Jacoby Myers role.
Yeah,
but the problem is sometimes he plays a little free. I know he's known for not having the greatest of hands.
He fumbles a lot,
which is the hands thing, right?
Yeah.
He must have small hands, this guy. But he didn't pay attention to the receiver. Like he was getting ready he was looking downfield.
Yeah.
When the receiver was right there, looked right at the ball.
Yeah, punched it right out.
And punched it right out.
Yep.
Yeah, horrendous.
But again, the Patriots,
Bailey looked like he got hurt too. Did you? I didn't actually check to see if anything else happened with that.
I didn't notice.
He hurt his shoulder when on the special teams play where they ran to like the 50-yard line.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, he went to go tackle the guy and
when he pushed him out of bounds.
Yeah, and he hurt his shoulder. I guess he was in the medical tent.
Yeah, he didn't come back in the game after that, so I'm not sure if he was hurt or not.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
But the Patriots only punted, twice. I mean, granted, they threw 3 interceptions, which killed their drives and had a fumble, but they moved the ball. They had over 400 yards of offense. They were playing good. So Jacoby Myers, him not being there, wasn't the issue. It was just the mistakes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I know what you mean.
Now,
what do you think going forward?
I mean, it's going to be tough.
What's your trust level in Hoyer?
Oh, I trust Hoyer.
You do?
I mean, as long as he doesn't make mistakes. I mean, he's going to throw the ball. He knows the system. He's not going to have an issue with that.
Yeah, he definitely
granted,
knows the system.
is a new system, but it's the same thing.
Really. Well, he's been there the whole time. I mean, he should basically know as much as Mac.
Yeah. And he's a veteran. He's 13 years in the league or something. So he's going to pick it up quick.
Yeah, it's 2008, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what I get, or maybe 2009, I get nervous about. Do you remember his game in Kansas City last year?
No.
It was horrendous.
Was it?
Horrendous.
I don't even remember him playing last year.
It might have been the year before.
It had to have been the year before because Mac Jones
he doesn't play like
at
all. Yeah, he didn't play like at all.
Yeah.
No, he definitely. It might have been the year before for Newton then. That might have been the game actually that Newton. What game did Newton have COVID? That might have been it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I think it was that. Horrendous. Now that's Kansas City.
Yeah.
But, you're going to play the Packers next.
Yeah. Who knows with the Packers really, because.
And we could talk about that in a second. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Yeah, who knows with the Packers? The Aaron Rodgers doesn't have great wide receivers. Jair Alexander, their best cover guy, he got hurt in the game. We don't know if he's going to be playing. So they
the groin injury. What's weird though is usually they try and come back or something. This guy was out.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and he never came back.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to that game now, or
you can see him limping on the sideline though? Yeah, we can go to that game.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's do the Bills Dolphins first. What are your thoughts on that? And then we'll just do some small thoughts on Bills and Dolphins. A lot of these games are at the same time. Yeah. We're still kind of working out. We're reviewing some of these. I know I've got to catch up on some of these. I've watched some of the highlights.
Yep.
But I haven't been able to watch them all.
Yeah, I try to watch as much of them all as I can.
Yeah, and I'll look at a lot of I'll listen to a lot of shows that are kind of discussing what happened.
Yep. But yeah. The Bills Dolphins. I mean, what a crazy game that was.
Yeah.
The Bills. I think you said it. Just before that they had the ball for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Crazy.
And you only score 19 points when you that much of a discrepancy in time.
Yeah. Do you have any stats for that game?
I do. Yeah. Josh Allen. I mean, he was 42 of 63, threw the ball 63 times.
I think they were saying Tua only threw it like 20 times.
Tua threw it 18 times.
18 times.
Yeah,
see? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
He had 400 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, it's what's crazy too.
400 yards. It's because of the receivers.
Because of the receivers?
Well, like, because I mean, he might throw it. He'll throw it, and then Waddle and Hill go like 80 yards.
Oh, you're talking about Tua. Tua only had 170 yards.
Oh,
180. Right. So he didn't do that great. I'm talking about Josh Allen had 400 yards.
Oh, well, yeah.
When you throw it 60 times, you're gonna,
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, like you said, you gotta get in the end zone.
Yeah. They were moving all day long, but just.
And I mean, I was just talking last week on the last episode. I was actually going for all right, Allen's MVP.
Yeah.
And then also I was talking about undefeated talk.
Yeah.
It's it's that crazy because I definitely did not see Tua and the Dolphins beating them.
No, but now you got to talk about undefeated talk with Tua and the Dolphins.
No, it's not going to happen.
Come on.
Hey, there was 11 starters were out with heat exhaustion on the Bills though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't even play in Miami.
I mean even the during the Bucks.
Yeah.
And Packers,
like
Lazard was on the side on the sideline laying down.
Oh yeah.
It was 99 degrees they said.
Yeah, I'm going to say that
it felt like 99.
As an unbiased Buccaneers fan, they should forfeit their first 5 games since they're going to be 90 plus degrees, 100% humidity, just because.
Is that because of that? I lived through, obviously, Brady even losing to the Dolphins all the time.
Yeah. Miami, they should have domes where it's air conditioned and fine. But
when it's super cold out and they still have 60-degree weather.
Well, that's fine. You're not going to get cramps from the cold.
No, but you know what I mean. When you're going to play in Green Bay or some of these places, where it's so freaking cold, or
they have heated
Denver,
fields.
Even New England. I used to love when Peyton Manning would come.
Oh yeah,
and he also, the reason I would love it too is he had such a shit arm at the end.
Yeah,
he couldn't even throw. He was throwing ducks, as
but
Richard Sherman would say.
But yeah, it's just. I mean, I guess the home field advantage. You get that, but I hate it.
It's like every team just tries to use it. They were Josh Allen was actually talking about he wants a stadium, an indoor stadium.
Yeah, because he doesn't like playing in the cold.
But he's got the arm for it.
Of course he does.
I mean, even in the wind last year versus the Patriots, Mac Jones couldn't throw it 10 yards.
Well, we don't know because they didn't let him.
No, I think they let him attempt 2 passes.
Yeah, he did.
And Allen was still hitting his guy.
Yeah.
Diggs, he was cutting through the wind like nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got a lead arm. I talked about this last episode also. Please check out last episode. Subscribe. Thank you. I talked about it in the last episode that he's got elite arm talent.
Oh, probably the strongest
I was talking
arm.
also I don't think Brady doesn't have elite arm talent. It's he has perfect control of when he's gonna he has perfect timing.
Yeah,
he's situationally amazing.
Yep.
And there's 3 guys, maybe 4 guys if you count Herbert, that just have amazing arm talent where it's just they flick their wrist.
Yeah.
It goes a lot like Dan Marino back in the day.
Absolutely.
They're not even trying. They're not. Their feet aren't even touching the ground.
That's crazy.
And they're throwing with Brady would do, touching the ground, heaving it. You know?
Yeah, it's Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Herbert, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, Rodgers can do that stuff too.
Yeah.
Rodgers still. I'm actually surprised because he's getting up there and he's 38.
Yeah, he is 38. Yeah.
Maybe almost 39. I don't know exactly when his birthday is, but he's already got the white hair going. I know Brady just dyes it, so he's probably got it too.
Of course he does.
I mean,
that guy's so vain with all his Botox and everything.
Oh yeah. You can tell because the forehead doesn't move.
Yeah, it's nuts.
What's crazy though is all the announcers say, "Look how good he looks." Even I'm the biggest Brady fan, and I'm yes. Would you stop saying that? Of course, I know why he looks so good.
Fucking medically enhanced.
Yeah, his hair was receding in 01.
Yeah.
You don't. Oh, he didn't get hair plugs or something. Come on now. And that's okay with me. It's just whatever.
Yeah. Why?
I know it's there, right?
Yeah. Just.
And it's all of a sudden, I would prefer that than you look like shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm going bald. If I had the money.
If you lose all your teeth because they rotted out, get new teeth.
Exactly.
Right? I wouldn't chastise the guy. So,
no.
Anyways, but, all right. So, Buffalo Bills, we know they're going to be fine, right?
Absolutely.
There's no worry here.
No. Oh well, a little bit. Micah Hyde, their safety. He's out for the year.
Micah Hyde, yeah.
Yeah. So
they're going to get Tre'Davious White back. Any idea when?
I'm not sure.
I feel like every week I look this
But-
up and I
but
have no idea.
Even so, that's Michael Hyde's a huge problem.
No, yeah, he is.
I don't know how long Jordan Poyer's going to be out neither, but he missed this game. I'm not
both
sure.
safeties out. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like I said, I didn't get to watch everything of it, but
Yeah,
they were mentioning that the rookie safeties played pretty good.
yeah, they might have.
I mean, if you just look at the score, you can tell apparently they didn't play that bad.
No, of course not. I mean, the Dolphins only had like 250 yards of offense, so their defense played good.
But now this team, the Pats almost beat them.
Who?
This is where it's so hard to figure out
Pats
week to
almost beat
week. The Pats almost beat the Dolphins.
Not. I mean, they did.
But we were just talking about how bad the Pats looked,
Yeah.
right?
I didn't say they looked bad.
Well, no, you said they looked pretty good until the end.
Yeah.
But we also said that they're not going to probably. Well, what I should have said was, how do you think they're going to go forward? I did talk about Mac's injury.
Yeah.
You said you have some trust in Hoyer.
Yeah. And they have an easy schedule coming up.
They do have an easy schedule, but they need to make sure they beat them.
Yeah.
The Lions look good now, though.
They could be good.
I think that they're going to lose to the Lions.
They might. I'm not saying
That'll be
they
already.
won't, but
That'll be 3 losses.
I trust them to beat the Lions.
Here's
they're
the
going to have 3
problem, though.
losses after Packers.
Here's the
if
problem:
they lose.
the Bills and the Dolphins
Yep.
most likely are going to have tiebreakers and have more wins than you. I bet.
Sure. Yeah.
So it could be an 08 scenario
I can see that. Yeah.
when
The Dolphins, Patriots had
Castle,
11 wins.
When Castle had 11 wins.
Yep.
Of course, what I always like to mention is that he had five more losses than Brady the year before. Everyone always seems to never bring that up. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
Undefeated team. You lost
Oh, no,
five more games.
they were defeated
Oh.
in the Super Bowl by probably
Ugh.
one of the best teams.
No. If Asante Samuel just makes that goddamn catch,
Yeah.
we don't even talk about this.
Hey, but he
it
made
drives
that.
me freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Or if Rodney effing Harrison,
Yeah.
can you just hit this guy? You put all that money aside for fines. This is the time to use it, buddy.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Jesus Christ.
I feel that way all the
Was
time.
it? I think it was Hobbs. I want to say it was Hobbs. Anyways, there was a corner.
Mm-hmm.
Sucked.
Oh.
He was horrendous though.
Yeah, probably Hobbs.
I think it was Hobbs. He was bad in that game too.
Yeah.
Just terrible.
Yeah.
The line. I thought Brady sealed it. As a Pats fan, I'm not like too upset with Brady only because he sealed it with Randy Moss and 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, I mean,
Almost every time he loses, this is why I say like he gets things done. This is why I'm such a Brady fan. Is when you absolutely need him to do it, he does it. I'm like shocked when he loses.
I mean,
I'm literally like we'll bring this up in about 5 minutes, but I wasn't even mad, but I'm almost like it doesn't even surprise me when you need 1 touchdown to get down to tie this game.
sure.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
You know what Brady's issue is that he leaves too much time for the other team.
Well,
You know,
there was like
Seattle
5
Seahawks.
guys. You know how much holding was on that play?
I'm just saying, the Seahawks, you thought Brady, drove him down the field and scored the touchdown to win the game, but the Seahawks, you gave him too much
Oh, talking
time.
about 2014?
Yeah.
You
Then
know
they
what
were stupid and let.
I remember watching that game with my dad, my brother, and my buddy, and I was like, oh, and of course I'm drinking.
Yeah.
I had I think in that last 2 minutes, I think I had like 5 beers.
Oh yeah.
I was now there are cores, but I was
Yeah.
just down just because I was like, I can't do that. I can't lose again, especially when that curse catch happened.
Oh yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ, don't do this to me, man. And what I was screaming was, take an effing timeout, dude.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you leave a minute. I still believe Brady might be able to get down there.
Sure.
Well, I mean, so this is the game. 2011, I blame on Gronkowski being injured.
Yeah, I blame that they can't beat the Giants in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's fine. I'm a
Well,
Patriots
Edelman
fan.
makes that catch. Let me just put that
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, I
Future
know.
Hall of Famer,
I've
Julian
heard that
Edelman.
a few times.
And I'm waiting for him. It's just a couple weeks, 7 weeks early. Week 10, him and Gronkowski, which I heard Gronkowski was at the game, at the Tampa game,
Oh,
which tells me maybe he's getting the itch.
Mm.
Him and Edelman, because he ain't going to the Pats if they're losing. They got to get a few more wins before he
Yeah.
considers that.
I just
But-
hope he's not a traitor. You know,
please, come
like
on.
Gronk and Brady. Get the hell out of here.
No,
Retire.
Week 10, I need both of them on there, and then maybe he'll show Beasley a few things. You know,
Yeah.
who's the new addition to the Bucks?
Yep.
Last minute, I'm so surprised they actually played him.
Yeah.
And they threw.
They had to.
Well, let's go to that game now.
Okay.
They threw a fourth, and I think it was like 15, 4th and 15. Anyways, they threw a fourth down to him.
Yeah.
Literally like the first drive of the game.
I didn't.
And he caught it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep.
Now I'm thinking like, man, I don't even think Brady knew who was over there at that time.
Oh, sure.
I really don't, because I don't think he's going to put that on Beasley right away.
He might have.
Now, he also fucked up later on.
Beasley did?
Yeah, Beasley fucked up because he dove down before the defender even hit him.
Yep.
And the first down marker was like 5 yards in front of him.
Yeah, but that's what he does. He
And
doesn't
that's
want to
like-
get hit.
God, I mean, hey, anytime a slot receiver plays, usually they're pretty tough. And
Yeah,
I've
but
seen
he's
Beasley
not
take
one
some
of them.
hits.
You haven't really. Julian Edelman, he takes hits. Wes Welker,
Yeah.
he took hits.
Julian Edelman, speaking of 2014, because we brought it up already.
Yeah.
He might have played just as good in that game as he did when he was MVP of
The
2018.
Falcons.
No, 2018. He didn't play in the Falcons. No, he did play in the Falcons.
Gronk didn't play in the Falcons.
Gronk didn't play in the Falcons.
Yeah.
Martellus Bennett played in front
Yep.
instead of him. No, he was MVP of the Rams Super Bowl. The second one.
Was he?
2018, yeah.
Okay, I thought he was MVP of the
Super Bowl
Falcons.
MVP. No, that was Brady.
Okay. I figured because of that
White was
amazing
better
catch
in that
he
game, though.
had.
White was better in that game.
No.
He had the finishing Super Bowl. He had another touchdown. He had he had extra point.
The catch that matters is Edelman's catch.
Oh, 100%. I agree
Yeah.
with that. I
So
know. I
he
completely agree
deserved
with
the
that.
MVP just on that alone.
Everyone played. I mean, Mitchell played great that game.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone played. I mean, you know what? The catch that stands out most to me is the Amendola one in overtime, when Brady was just like, dude, as soon as they flipped that coin, it was like, all right, we're winning this game.
Yeah.
And then he threw on an out route on the. I think when you're watching the film, it's on the bottom of the screen. But yeah, he threw him a ball, and it was like boom, like timed perfectly, right, and the cover. You couldn't cover it.
Yeah.
It was just awesome.
I mean, that's the last game that I was a Brady fan. That Falcons Super Bowl is the last game that I was a Brady fan. So I wanted him to retire after that.
You want a Jimmy G?
Jimmy G, the
Oh,
galloping
Jesus.
chicken. That's who I wanted. You know?
No. Well, look at him now.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
still
Look at him now running out of the back of the end zone
Oh,
all
no,
by
we'll
himself.
save that. We'll save that. We'll save that. All right. So Packers Bucks. All right. So I got some thoughts on this.
Okay.
I still think, as a Bucks fan, Brady fan, I still think they're okay. I'm not even mad that they lost, only because they really have no offensive talent. They're throwing two of their receivers. Now they couldn't get going off the start, but I also think the pass rush was just so heavy for because they have a third string left tackle.
Yeah.
Who's still playing okay, especially compared to Josh Wells,
Sure.
who was there before. They have a left guard that's a rookie,
Yep.
Luke Gedeke. That's
Yeah.
I think that's his name. And then they also have Hainsley, who's the center, who's only his third game of his life.
Sure.
In the profession. Now the right side's fine. It's just that they were getting so much pressure early. Like Wirfs was holding it fine, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Fournette couldn't get running. They have a really good. They were so aggressive, and there's not really any receivers that can. The screens weren't going.
Okay.
They couldn't. They don't have the playmakers to do that kind of stuff.
No.
So they have like little Scotty Miller, who's awesome, but if you get physical with him, he sucks.
Yeah.
And what I'm noticing is they're not even calling. I think it's because he's so small. They're not even calling penalties on it.
Sure.
And I honestly, whenever you see this on any of the Bucks guys, they call penalties all the time. But they're literally like throwing them. They'll like use a hand, and because he's so small, he's actually being like moved
Yep.
a lot. And the Saints did this. That's where the ejection happened. They were fighting, and it was one of those. It was one of those like pushing him on the sideline kind of deal.
Sure.
And they were hitting him like the whole way down, but it was affecting his route completely.
Yep.
And so normally you'd get a flag for something like that, but that didn't happen. And then Perriman fumbled.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. And then I know he was kind of pissed about it. Perriman was pissed about it.
Yep.
And then Russell Gage, he fumbled the next time, but those are 2 separate drives.
Sure.
Sucked.
Sure.
The line caved in on him the drive before that. So like that's why I'm bringing all these things up. So it's like 1, 2, 3. That's what happened.
Yep.
Now they were okay when they were kind of doing high tempo.
Yep.
They started to be okay, and then
how often were they doing that though? I mean, I saw the end.
Well,
of
they
the
don't
game.
have the playmakers to do it. That's the other problem.
Sure.
But so they had offensive penalties too.
Yep.
Multiple guys penalty. So they're moving back 5 yards. Honestly, I think on all 3 of those drives where they failed, other than the fumble and all that, because they were moving down.
Yep.
When the fumbles happened, it was on like the 20-yard line.
Okay.
They were gonna score points on those drives. So the other drives, they would score penalties, and then it turns into like, it's like 1st and 20. Like I feel like they had multiple penalties in a row. All that. It wasn't a good. And
I will say the Green Bay Packers did have more penalties against them than the Buccaneers had called against them.
a lot of them were late in the game.
Yeah. Well, I'm just.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Packers had a lot of.
Nothing stands out to me.
Yeah.
When I think about it.
Okay.
But I do know their defensive was aggressive. I think the heat got to them.
Okay.
So it slowed them down a little bit. Rodgers looked really good early on.
Yeah, I saw that. The first
Bucs
2 drives.
they weren't tackling enough. They were letting everyone go. Or they would have 5-yard cushions where they're catching the ball and they're running like 10 to 15 yards, no problem.
Yep.
Aaron Jones was going. Then they started to get a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers, and it completely changed the dynamic. They should have been 21-3.
Packers 21-3.
It should have been 21-3.
Yeah. Is that when Aaron Rodgers threw his interception? Because I didn't catch too much of this game, but he did have an interception thrown.
Yeah,
so.
no, that was when it was 4. No, there was a fumble.
Okay.
Vita Vea caused a fumble.
Yeah, on
a
Aaron
guy
Jones.
in the end zone.
Okay.
Right before he literally was about to score.
Okay.
No, then I think they threw the pick. I'm pretty sure. Then they threw the pick. The pick didn't mean anything though. They picked it. Brady did nothing. They got the ball right back.
Yeah.
Literally meant nothing to the game as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Now, that was Logan Ryan, I believe, who I think is
awesome.
I think he's one of the reasons that I feel pretty calm about defense too.
Yep.
I mean, their defense has led up, I think, under 30 points the whole year, which is awesome, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, I feel pretty good. Their punter, they have a rookie punter.
Okay.
The Bucs do, awesome. I mean, they were backed up all day, and they were doing. He was drilling it. Any of those stats or no?
Yeah. No, his Jake Camarda.
Yeah.
He had 6 punts, 49.5 on average.
Like awesome.
62 for a long. He had one of them inside the 20, but they were probably backed up a lot, so he didn't have a lot of chances.
He was in the
to
end
pin
zone
them
on
deep.
one.
Yeah.
He was literally at the goalpost.
Yeah. So they didn't get to pin him deep a lot of times.
And Brady was pinned deep every time.
Was he?
I want to say the average might have been at like,
yeah,
the 16.
Pat O'Donnell, I mean, he has 5 punts out of his 7 that were downed inside the 20. So,
yeah.
So they were pinned back deep all game long.
Yeah, and that also good. But I think Lazard looks pretty good.
Yep.
I know you were talking. I mean, he's a big guy. I think he's like 6'5", 220.
Yeah, he's huge.
So he's a lot like Mike Evans' size.
Yep.
But he's got really good hands.
Yeah,
And
but
he's in sync with Rodgers too. Well, I think there's kind of a misconception that he has no people to throw to, but I think they're playing Dobbs.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
No,
if he was
but he
with
looked
Tom,
great.
Yeah, absolutely.
It didn't, like he doesn't. He's playing like, I mean.
But to say that he has something to throw to, Randall Cobb is 35 years old. He's done.
Randall Cobb had 1 catch the whole day.
He had 2 catches for 57 yards.
Okay, there's only one in my head that sticks out, and it was a long grab, but
sure. But yeah, he has nobody. Just like Tom Brady had nobody in this game. He only has 3 wide receivers, 2 wide receivers and a tight end that he played with last year. So just like Tom Brady in this game, it was Cameron Brate, Brashard Perriman, and Scotty Miller that he played with last year. So both of them only had.
Well, Perriman he played, but only a little
not
bit.
much.
Scotty Miller almost played nothing. He was mainly a gunner in special teams.
Yep.
And then who else did you mention? Oh, Russell Gage is new.
No, I said Cameron Brate.
Oh, Cameron Brate.
Titans.
He's kind of a security blanket.
Used to be awesome.
But he's not. I mean, he's not like Gronkowski. Like, I think we're missing that Gronkowski type piece.
Sure.
Hell, even at this, I would take Howard at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Who's on the Texans now?
Absolutely.
He was on the Bills. They just got too much talent on the Bills. That's kind of what have it there.
But to think, I mean, when you guys get Julio Jones,
so
Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans,
even Mike Evans would have made a whole difference. He's
Absolutely.
good for a couple. Like, oh, you need it, 30 yards done.
Yeah,
and then he's good. He's just a chain mover.
Mr.
In the end
Consistency.
zone, perfect, no problem.
Yeah.
You can drape all over him. He catches it. He
I love
catches it
Mike
one
Evans.
hand. I mean, he's good. Now, to me, I would take Godwin. But
Sure.
like, what you miss on Godwin is those screen passes
Mm-hmm.
where he always gets like 15 to 20 yards.
Yep.
Like a lot what he did in week 1 against Dallas. The first play of the game, I think they went to Godwin.
Yeah.
He's set to return soon. I think the information on Julio is that he has a torn PCL or a tear in his PCL.
So he's probably out like 6 weeks.
A couple weeks, I guess,
Yeah.
at minimum. The guy's always injured. I'm trying not to even think about him as far. I want Beasley to get up to speed.
Yep.
I honestly think, you know who I would trade for? I want Andy Isabella. I do. I want. I want a.
You keep talking about wide receivers on the Bucs like they don't have a stacked wide receiver core already. Why do they need more?
Like Darden
Scotty Miller is the same as Andy Isabella. It's just it's crazy to think that they would need an Andy Isabella. They just need Tom Brady to get used to throwing to other guys besides Mike Evans.
But I don't think it's that, because a lot of times
it is that
he's hitting them in the hands and they'll drop the ball.
Sure, I'm not saying that's not true.
But that's what it is. That's what I'm seeing.
Is Andy Isabella not going to do that?
No, I have no
same
idea.
thing?
But I would love to. I know he's underused. He's probably a good trade.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying that because I think he's awesome too. But the Bucs have a ton of talent in their wide receiver room.
No, they have tons of talent. Just half of them are injured.
Sure. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, what happened last year.
I mean, they signed Russell Gage.
They shouldn't have got rid of Tyler Johnson. They could really use him now.
They signed Russell Gage. I mean, he had 12 catches in this game.
He's just not on page with Brady just yet, but he's catching.
Yep.
I mean, they're using him.
Yep.
So it's one of those deals. Christian Watson wasn't in for the Packers.
Yep.
He's their rookie. I think he was a third rounder. But he's he's pretty athletic.
Yeah.
Also, Javier Alexander was out.
Oh yeah. Jair Alexander, he got hurt in the first quarter of the game.
Yeah, groin injury.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens there. I feel pretty good about it. I think they're both
they're both 2-1.
2-1 now. So
yeah, you should feel good about both the teams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. All right.
Their defense is going to keep them in the games, no matter what, no matter how bad their offense.
The Packers get the Patriots next.
Yeah.
I'm sure. It would have been really bad if they had lost that game to the Bucs, and then had to go face.
Yeah.
The Pats. Because I remember, you always want the team to be winning when they face you, so they're not like ultra motivated to set things right.
Yep.
Because the media just gets after them.
Yep. How do you think Tom Brady's going to feel if Green Bay loses to the Pats with the backup quarterback? It'll be great.
That would be awesome. Hey, I'm down for it.
It would be great. I guess. I mean, he doesn't need any more motivation, so never mind.
No, he doesn't care. He's just I think I forget. I think we have the Chiefs this week.
Yeah, you do. Losing that game.
Hey, maybe we'll win. I mean, I don't think. I'm not high on the Chiefs.
Yeah, I know you're not.
I'm not high on the Chiefs. I am not a Chiefs fan. I would take Gronkowski right now over getting Kelsey on my team.
Yeah, because.
But anyways, we're what's the next game I had here? 49ers Broncos. What are your thoughts on this?
What an embarrassing game that was.
I do think Russell Wilson's just. I think he's put in an unfair scenario with it. I think I see a lot of people connecting it to being like Brady when he joined the Bucs, which was a bad start. right? Or it was a rough start.
Sure.
Obviously, Russell lost in Seattle. They gave him that way too early. They should have. Brady had it week 2.
Yeah.
You got to give him like a year in the system. Like let him get everything down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's Russell Wilson or if it's Nathaniel Hackett, the head coach.
Yeah, first time head coach.
Sure, but
they won, which is good.
Yeah, yeah.
But I can just tell when you watch the game. I mean, what was it, 10 to 11? What was this?
It was 11-10, yeah.
Yeah, 11-10, yeah. But I'm no Jimmy G fan here.
Yeah.
I think he looks a little skittish. Obviously,
Sure.
you mentioned the safety earlier.
Yep.
You can't have that.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Orlovsky's the only other guy that I know that's ever done something like that. And I mean, who really knows Dan Orlovsky?
Yeah, he's a good analyst.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't
That's
mind
all
him as an
he is.
analyst. He's pretty good
But
there.
yeah, but yeah, no, Jimmy. It's like preseason for him right now. He's just getting used. I mean, he had surgery in the off season. Yep. He hasn't really thrown that much.
Yeah, and it was his arm. So and I agree with that completely because I think he looks skittish.
Yeah, sure.
I know it was the first quarter I think that.
Trey Lance got hurt.
Yeah, Lance got hurt. Yep. So he had like 3 quarters, but he probably wasn't even expecting to be starting.
No.
And now he's starting. All the reps were probably mainly with the backups.
I mean, he probably wasn't even expecting to be on the 49ers until he, re-upped that last week of
Yeah. And they said he was practicing by himself.
Exactly.
Doing all the training. That's weird.
They didn't want, Trey Lance to feel like this guy's going to be there to take your job. He just took your job.
Well, he got hurt, right?
Yeah, I know.
Because they basically were like, hey, this is his team.
Yeah, yeah.
And then,
But, I mean, that's how Tom Brady kept his job.
Yeah,
got the job, and then
maybe
Jimmy G goes, wins the Super Bowl. And
maybe there's somebody else
that's
going to lose his job, too. Dak.
No.
Maybe Rush. He might be like the most talented redhead ever.
I mean, he did just have. I mean, granted, there's not much to talk about this San Francisco-Seattle game, right? I mean, it was.
No, Trent Williams got hurt.
Yeah.
They said he might be out 4 to 6 weeks. I pulled it up actually.
Yeah, high ankle sprain, just like Mac Jones.
Yeah. I will say this: they both reacted the same way.
Yeah.
Except for it. It did look. Did you see any of the pictures of them carrying Mac Jones down the stairs and him screaming in pain?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
That didn't.
I'm just saying. I saw him hobbling off the field, unlike Trent Williams, who was laying on the ground crying.
Oh, come on.
See, I think Mac Jones is a little bit more of a man.
He was screaming too. He was crying on the ground just as bad.
No, he was
and that looked bad too. Wasn't that Campbell that jumped on him?
Oh, I don't know, but it was some
Calais
big
Campbell.
fat guy.
I mean, you're talking like 6'10".
Yeah.
340 pounds.
I thought he broke his leg for sure.
I thought he did too. I thought he broke his shin bone.
Yeah.
Because that's where he basically put all his weight to push his leg down.
Yep.
Oh my God, horrendous.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you listen to Scott Zolak, he had it in the play.
What?
If doing the play-by-play,
Yep.
he knew exactly what the injury was. Didn't have the reports came out today.
Oh, he said it looked like a high ankle.
He said that's a high ankle sprain. Boom, had it all.
Yeah.
Which is it's pretty cool.
Well,
obviously he's played the position, so he has some kind of idea. He's watched enough games.
But that's what it is, because the high ankle is just your shin basically. So they say it's that big tendon or whatever at the front of your leg.
Yeah,
I don't really know.
I mean, the
worst.
I'm not some pro athlete here.
Yeah.
I just a huge fan watching the games and
Yeah.
stuff. But I had it when I was tackled. I was blocking as a wide receiver, and the running back basically just caved in on my leg, and my shin touched my toe.
Yep.
Oh. And so that's pretty much what happened with me. But I couldn't walk. I could walk at that point, but once everything swelled up, I remember trying to drive home that day.
Yeah.
It was like the worst.
Yeah. I mean, I've had some pretty severe injury to my leg as well. I had it all snapped out in pieces.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't put any pressure on it, so I could only imagine.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering what the surgery is going to entail. So I think he's having surgery also.
Who?
Trent Williams.
Oh, probably. He probably needs it more than Mac Jones does, though.
His position, right? Yeah.
He's 350 pounds.
I got a little nervous with Brady during his game because he slid when I told you he had a run.
Yeah.
I want to say it might have been like a 20-yard run or something.
Yep.
But he slid and his he broke his knee brace,
Oh, really?
and it was like jammed to the side. I was actually thinking, because I was thinking you might be able to hurt your leg just doing that.
Absolutely.
Just because it doesn't want to go a certain way.
Yep.
And it might pop your knee or something.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the one thing that I remember from the Patriots is that I don't know if it was Scarnecchia, the offensive line coach, or Bill, but they required all their offensive linemen to wear knee braces.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Every one of them.
I think it makes sense. I mean, it's just
I think
more stability.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking it was.
So.
But just something to think of.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, what was the next game we were talking about?
The Giants in Dallas. You were bringing up Cooper
Oh,
Rush.
yeah. So I haven't completely this game just happened.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be a little late. I've only watched a little bit. I was listening to it. Yeah, Cooper Rush. Dallas did win.
Yep.
I just can't give too many details. Do you have any stats on that game?
I don't have any right in front of me. I can get them.
I might be able to get some too. But Cooper Rush, I mean, winning again. That you got to now. Here's the thing. Jones, the owner,
Yep.
basically said that there could be a competition at quarterback. Then McCarthy comes out and says, no matter what, Dak gets his job back. So what does that tell you?
There's no competition. Jones needs to keep his mouth shut. I don't care if you own the team. This is why you haven't won since the beginning of the 90s, dude. Because you interfere too much.
Hey, at that same time, I want Kraft to start interfering.
To a point.
No, you know what?
You don't.
I just want to get this out here, okay? I listened to the Bill Belichick press conference, and he's just like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
No, I've nothing to, like, they're asking him questions, and he's like, no.
At
the same time, I'm going like, dude, when you lose and when you're losing and when you've basically gotten worse and worse since Brady left, the greatest quarterback of all time, you got to start answering questions. When you're winning all the time, yeah, you don't have to answer questions as much.
Absolutely.
But if you start losing, no, I don't want to hear no. You start answering fucking questions.
I feel the same
That shit
way.
drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Because we all get to question you now because your shit's not working.
Absolutely. But I still
think he's like the greatest coach of all time.
Sure.
But just like all the other greats, like eventually Brady's just gonna come down, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But I still think, Robert Kraft. What do you know about football, buddy?
No, he doesn't. But
you own a team, but you
okay. So
can't.
he just paid like what, 60 or 80 million? I forget exactly what their contracts were to the tight ends that they haven't used at all.
Well, I mean, Hunter Henry had 9 touchdowns last year.
Well, that's it. Not this year at all.
But that's not Bill Belichick. Mac Jones reads the field and goes.
The reports are that Patricia's telling him exactly who to throw to.
I mean, then if that's the case,
which is exactly why Devontae Parker, is getting picked off because they're saying, "Hey, go to this guy." I don't know if it's setting it as a hot route.
Well, each play, it has a main guy that you go to. You look at him first, and then you do your reads after that.
Yeah.
So if your reads tell you to throw to him, then you throw to him.
Unless they're saying, no, you throw to him no matter what, which could be it. I have no idea.
I don't either. I mean, that would be very surprising.
But the Devontae Parker is only on this team because Matt Patricia, when the GM or the quote-unquote GM, the guy that they say is the GM for the Patriots, it's always Bill Belichick has final say. Mm-hmm. But they had the same thing where he came out and said that Patricia found out the scoop that they were ready to trade this guy, get all the information, and he was the reason that they traded for him. You obviously want your guy to perform if that's who you put your neck out for.
Sure.
And so I think that's what it's about. Bourne made a couple plays, but he wasn't nearly in. For having Myers out, why wasn't he playing more?
He should have been. It's not Devontae Parker. It's that little Jordan Humphrey. Why the hell's that guy in the game?
And that's where the other interception came from, isn't it? I think that's the end zone one, by the way.
No, that's Devontae Parker.
All right,
100%.
There was one. I'm almost positive there was one where maybe the announcer messed up then.
Dude, no. The first one was Josh Bynes in the middle of the field. Mac Jones threw it directly at him. Like, he was throwing to somebody, and Josh Bynes just came over in front of him. He must not have seen him, but it was just a really horrible decision.
And the one, basically just like the Steelers, that's why I mentioned it earlier. Mm-hmm. The guy had it. He actually kind of leaped forward, but he should have had the pick.
Sure, yeah. Well, you had that one when he was throwing it to Damian Harris on the flat, and the guy
I think Ramondre might be the starter now.
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so. He's not better than Damian
I mean,
Harris.
it's actually probably a good thing because of how run heavy they actually are.
Yeah.
That they just keep switching them.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. Just don't even name a starter. Just keep switching them off and call it.
Yeah. But the Giants are really an impressive team to me right now. Obviously, Giants are my number 2 favorite team. So
if you couldn't tell by all the giddiness in his voice when he was talking about the Patriots losing to him.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Patriots more, but the Giants hadn't won in so long. I was so happy for them to win that game.
Oh, I wanted to get some stats on that game, though.
Giants, Cowboys.
Yeah.
I have it up right now.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So I have Cooper Rush was 21 of 31 for 215 yards. I mean, pretty good. Not anything amazing.
You say 31 for, what'd you say?
21 for 31.
Yeah, I mean, that's only
215.
Yeah, it's like what? Is that 66%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. And Tony Pollard, I mean, I think he's the guy. Zeke Elliott had a good game too, but Tony Pollard had 105 yards rushing.
When I was listening to it, Zeke Elliott was getting like 5-6 yards a pop.
Yeah. No, Zeke averaged 5 yards.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard averaged 8.
Yeah. Well, Pollard's a speed guy.
Absolutely.
Elliott's more of the power guy.
Yeah. Now
He does. Oh, I will say this: Zeke looks better than last year.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. Probably.
Last year, I don't know what the deal was. He was a little slow.
He had some
heavy,
injuries. Huh?
Yeah. They did say later on though it came out that he had a foot injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony Pollard, he's looking really good.
Did
CeeDee Lamb, I mean, he had a touchdown in this game, but he also dropped a wide open pass where he would have had another touchdown. I know how probably that makes you upset since you have CeeDee Lamb on your fantasy
very
team.
much.
But he should have had 2 touchdowns, and one of them would have been like 50-something yards.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because he's sucked the past 2 weeks. So.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I wouldn't say he sucked, but he just hasn't been.
Yeah, he hasn't been.
When you're talking fantasy, like a couple, like a catch here, catch there, it means nothing.
But
Brown looked. So when I was listening to it, Noah Brown.
Noah Brown.
Yeah, he's so connected with Rush.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they're so on the same page. I think that's where it is. So Dak is more of the CeeDee Lamb guy now.
Yep.
And that's what's affected that. But hey, it's working for him.
Absolutely.
So they've won. They haven't lost since Dak's been out, right? Oh,
No. Dak.
last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They've won both 2 games.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
They were talking before if they could just go like 1-4.
Yeah.
I mean, the Eagles are obviously undefeated.
Yeah. Eagles are going to be a dominant team.
So, and the Giants are in the division, so it's always good to have the leg up on the tiebreaker.
Yes.
So what else we got here?
But again, yeah, we should. I mean, not too much on that game. Just the Cowboys won. Both defenses looked good.
Yeah.
According to stats and everything, we obviously didn't get to see too much of it.
Micah Parsons have any sacks?
He might have. I know.
He always generally does.
DeMarcus Lawrence, I know, had 3.
3 sacks, huh?
Yeah.
I bet you they probably moved their whole front to
Dude,
defend against Parsons.
they were killing him. I think they had 6 or 7 in the game. So, nothing for Micah Parsons.
Wow, that's surprising.
He had a real quiet game. Only 1 assist and tackle.
Well, so he tweeted out like the flu game.
Mm-hmm.
So he must be sick or something too.
I saw that.
So I wonder I don't know if that actually means anything, or on top of that, they also pushed everything over to him.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, I would say he's probably still a defensive player of the year candidate.
Absolutely.
The guy's still playing out of his mind. All right, so let's see. What are some surprising wins here? Raiders are still 0-3.
Jacksonville Jaguars, beating the Chargers. What was it, 38-10 or something?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch that. Herbert didn't play, right?
He did play.
Oh, he did play.
That might have been the issue. Herbert's hurt, and
the Cardinals lost again. I think they're kind of a fraud team.
Yeah,
I've been saying this. I don't trust them. They're below average at this point. Average to below average.
How can you trust them when you have Andy Isabella and you just don't play him?
Oh man. All right, so you want to let's do a preview. We'll finish up with a preview of Miami at Cincy.
All right.
What do you think? What are your keys? Let me ask you this: who do you think's going to win?
Boy, I think Miami's gonna win.
You do?
Yeah, I don't think
Eli Apple is gonna
no.
hold down. I think the only reason I mentioned that is because Tyreek was talking shit already. I guess.
Oh, was he?
He said he has the receipts.
Yeah.
On
It's horrible.
Which is it was kind of that's good though. I mean, hey, this is what makes these kind of things
absolutely
fun. You know.
You know.
So you think Miami's gonna win? Give me a score.
24-10.
I think 24-21 Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
What makes you think Cincinnati? You know.
I think I have a lot more trust in Joey Burrow.
Then you do Josh Allen, who only put up 19 points.
No,
against
different
Miami's
game
defense?
though. Different game.
Sure.
I also think I'm hoping Cincinnati's line is going to play a little bit better. If they do, though, I just think the receiving talent on Cincinnati is just so great. But I don't trust Miami's defensive line as much as I would.
I know you didn't get to see the whole game, but you should watch what they did to Buffalo Bills because their defensive line.
But the Bills are missing a bunch of guys too.
Sure, not on offense.
On their offensive line.
Who are they missing?
I think they're missing their.
They're missing their
tackle.
Their center they were missing.
And
Greg Van Roten is their center right now, over I think it was Mitch Morse. But the Dolphins, their defensive line is legit. What they did to the Patriots.
I mean, the only Ogba, is that his name?
Emmanuel Ogba.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know he's playing good.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Jalen Phillips, awesome. Melvin Ingram has been awesome this year.
I mean Melvin Ingram's he's a staple. Yeah. He's always been.
Yeah,
even when he was on the Chargers.
Yeah, Christian Wilkinson has been playing awesome. Where we're not taking into account that their defensive backs are so much better that they get the
Dolphins.
time. Huh?
The
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Xavier Howard, Javon Holland.
Is Jones playing yet, Byron?
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
And it's almost like they don't even need him.
He's the most athletic guy on their defense.
Absolutely.
He will be.
So,
something tells me, so I think Burrow, now again, it's going to be, I called it a 3-point game.
Sure.
So I'm saying it's going to be close.
Sure.
I've just seen Joe, he has a little bit of that Brady factor in him.
Sure.
So, ending of the Bucks-Packers game, need a touchdown. He gets the touchdown.
Yeah.
Doesn't get the 2-point to tie it. But I've seen Burrow do that same exact thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like an it that Mahomes has it. Exactly what he did to Josh Mahomes.
Yeah.
Josh Allen. Josh Allen does not have that, or that we've seen so far. Josh Allen
scored with only 13 seconds left in the game, and the Chiefs.
All right, you're right. You got me on that one. Just that one. That one time.
So,
it's other than that, I really can't think of a time. And also, I heard a stat too. He was 0-7 when being down.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Yep.
When being down for his last drive or something like that.
Okay.
He was 0-7. In a row, 7 times or whatever, 7 games in a row. But again, I think Joey Burrow just has that it factor. As long as he has all his weapons, Chase, Higgins.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be okay. You mentioned bad games, by the way, for the Patriots. One game I want to bring up to you. The Browns are listed as a bad game. I think the Browns are going to play a lot better.
They
and
could.
Jacoby Brissett's going to come to New England prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they could be good. I'm not
I don't know.
doubting that.
Is it a 10-game suspension for Watson?
Yeah, it's 12. It's 11 games.
Oh, 11
he
games,
comes
okay.
back week 12 to play the Houston Texans.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
See, that's too early. What the hell are they doing?
It's
was the schedule out before he? Oh, that's why they gave him that.
Absolutely. You know.
And he appealed it, but he just got denied, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything the NFL can do to make a PR move.
Seriously. All right. So, yeah, I pretty much. I'm going to say 24-21 Cincinnati. I'm just going to go with Cincinnati. I feel pretty good on that.
I'm going to bump it up a little bit. You know, I'll
more
say
points?
24-17.
24-27. That doesn't sound bad either. 27-24 Cincy.
Yeah, I still the Dolphins.
You got to think, though, at Cincy is huge. That's at least a 3-point advantage.
Maybe.
Because,
I don't know.
Tua beat the Bills, but at his home field.
Sure.
Under like 100-degree weather.
Sure. Yeah.
Cincinnati, I mean, at least they're going to be up for them. A lot of noise.
Yeah. This is the first game the Dolphins are traveling because they played at home all 3 games so far.
So I think I feel pretty good about it.
So it's possible. I'm not saying it's not, but I just have no faith in the Bengals.
Cincinnati's line has got to improve somewhere along.
I don't believe it has to.
It's got to. But all right, you want to call it there?
That's it.
All righty. Thanks everyone for joining us. Special thanks to Joe for. Seems like he might be a review regular at this point. All right, so please subscribe if you like this show. You can catch us on YouTube. A lot of these are just called Late Night Football Talk or LNFT. YouTube, Google Podcasts, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not on Facebook yet. I might consider that one. You can find us on RSS and any of your providers. I'm sure RSS will be sending them out to there. So appreciate it. Subscribe, and we'll see you on Friday night. The video will be uploaded on Saturday. So thank you very much.